Hello, welcome to Treeland School, where birds and squirrels have recess all day. I'm Mrs. Tague, and I'm glad you're here for our time together. Today we have a story about the winter holidays. Schoolyard Tales, Halloween, and the Christmas Bat. Treeland School really does Halloween up right. Pumpkins show up, stories are everywhere, and children get in the spirit of writing about fearsome events. The teacher, Miss Landers, even talks to the kids about fear. She said it was okay to be afraid, but kids can learn how to be the boss of many of their fears. She gets the students to write and talk about what they're afraid of. Then they divide it into real and not real. Real can be like a storm that made us jump. Not real would be like monsters in the closet when they were just little tykes. Another day their teacher had a big line down the middle of the board. Possible and impossible was on the board. The kids were to list fears in each group. They thought it was all over and they could finally start thinking about costumes, and Miss Landers said, "I've been thinking." The next day she brought a huge piece of poster board. What do you know? It was a team race. She turned a timer on. The kids had to brainstorm a list of valid or helpful fears, like running into traffic or touching a hot stove. Next was bad fears which don't help, like being scared of the dark. That week in art, there were big sheets of darkness paper. The children had to make pictures of some good thing that happened to them in the dark. Some made stars, sleeping, fireworks, and Christmas tree lights. Several began to draw the night sky. One used chalk and others used stickers for stars. One talented guy even made the aurora borealis. A little girl asked, "Are we ever going to get to talk about costumes?" So Miss Landers announced a homework assignment about decisions. The aspiring spooks had to describe 2 possible costumes, listing pros and cons of each. Well, maybe that was kind of fun. It was time to decorate for the holiday. Bats were flying around everywhere. The man with the white hair helped by putting up some real high decorations since he was tall. In science, they learned that local bats sometimes carried rabies. So one boy designed a rabbit bat. The Halloween party was complete with especially designed placemats, mint leaves to make a great aroma, and outdoor games like Monsters Eyeball Carry and Miss Popcorn's Goat Zoo. All the kids loved the take walk. When the spooky music stopped, one who couldn't get a seat went to a special room where there was a table full of toys and goodies. The child got to pick any one item to take. No one told the others who were still playing that this was the opposite of a cakewalk, since the one who got no seat got a prize. It was a good secret. Miss Landers always told students to be careful about secrets. It's okay to keep good ones like a birthday present, but bad secrets should never be kept, like someone doing something they shouldn't. She says there's always someone to help. Could be a parent, a teacher, a minister. The next day after the party was over, all the decorations were suddenly gone, except one. That silly teacher had a thing about that. She thought it was important to know when something was over. She called that closure. The kids knew that she just loved words. But one bat lurked far up in the ceiling, since Miss Landers had a bad knee and didn't get around to taking it down. And the man with the white hair was out of town till after Christmas. When Thanksgiving came, someone threw some brown and orange crepe paper up there, and they called it the Bat of Grat, for gratitude. The crepe paper fell down eventually. Then at Christmas, the bat had gotten used to being there. One student said, "Since Miss Landers can't get up there, why don't we just decorate it for December?" At that, the tallest student stood and threw tinsel and red and green sparkles way up toward the ceiling. Some stuck, and it looked magnificent. The bat seemed right at home at Treeland School. Magenta Man, the classroom superhero, kind of liked having it in the classroom. The chickens and Mr. Rooster heard there was another animal, and they were happy. Treeland was the only school in town with their very own Christmas bat. The Christmas party was on the minds of everyone, so Miss Lander assured them that they would never say gimme until they said thank you. So, during November, they designed reading hats with input from the parents. Some bought baseball caps. One guy brought his granddad's fishing hat. Relatives pitched in with pins, stickers, and patches to include things which reflected a particular kid's interest. The class had a try-on day where they all wore their hats during silent reading. Then it was time to explain that they could now do the Christmas party planning. Placemats were made, and a very smart boy went and chose basil from the pizza garden as the herb to place on the side of each place setting. During the party, he even taught several parents, he taught them how to grow the basil on their own. Families brought wonderful goodies, and since Miss Landers didn't like too much sugar, one parent even showed up with a fruit on a stick. Miss Landers had told the parents that kids would eat anything that you put on a stick. Even though it was winter, the AC was turned on so the party could end in bubbles. Students dipped fly swatters in a bowl of bubbles, and then they held it on the AC unit. Some even went around swinging bubbles everywhere. It was magnificent. The party was quite a hit. When the students left for winter vacation, they hung their reading hats up so they would be easily reached in the new year. I know they all had fun on their Christmas vacation. I guess it's time to say so long. Thank you for letting me have a story with you today. Remember, be kind to yourself and make this day a good day, and whatever season you're in, a good season. Come see me again sometime. Bye-bye. So long.